Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for North Dakota Today. I'm Lisa Vidot here with Chris Berg. We made it to Wednesday, midweek.
The same way.
I can't really tell with my schedule all being off. It's Wednesday, it's Wednesday.
I have no idea what day it is anymore. You're just like, okay, I'm here, and we are, doing okay, and things are moving along at the pace that they are, and it's hump day, so we're there.
Hump day. Yeah. Well, we have been saying this a lot, and I just think we can't say it enough. Thank you to all of the healthcare workers who are out there, all of the essential services, and that includes our police and fire who are out all the time, even though a lot of people are staying at home right now. And I thought this was a fun one to share today as we're thinking about our local law enforcement. A post on social media from Devils Lake Police. Important putting this out here. Take a look at this if we put it up. They are now asking that due to the contagious nature of the COVID-19, that all criminal activity should cease until further notice. They're asking criminals to stay home, do your part. Wouldn't that be nice if that's how I love it when our local law enforcement have a little bit of a sense of humor, because, they're definitely the ones who, we listen to police scanners and, whether it's responding law enforcement or an ambulance service, we hear, they're asking the important questions now is, what kind of illness have you been exposed? They want to go out and help you out, whether, we're talking about a crime, a speeding ticket, or someone, with a medical emergency that's not COVID-19 related. They're still going to go and do their jobs. So.
Yeah, they're out there on the front lines. You mentioned a moment ago, you get the nurses, the doctors, same thing. They're facing this thing, literally on the front lines. And I got to give a shout out. Remember Mark J. Lindquist? Mm-hmm. We've had him on. He sings the national anthem. He's a great Air Force veteran. So he was looking at some ways that, hey, what can I do to help our vets in Arizona? Because he was looking for some, ventilators, maybe some respirators. We started doing some research, and he found out that there was a place, I think it was in Florida or Vegas, where they had a bunch of those N95 masks. Well, right now in Minnesota, the nurses are being told, because they've got such short supply, that some of them, according to an article I read, have to use the same one for like 5 days. So he may have just become a hero to his home state of Minnesota, where now this company has apologized because they were basically price gouging. They were selling this stuff for $20 grand a pallet.
Upsetting.
Yeah, so he may end up helping some of those Minnesota nurses that are on the front lines get a bunch of just N95 masks. So Mark, kudos to you if everything works out that way, and nice that he was out and about doing some, citizen reporting, if you will.
That's great. And on a personal note, I have a sister who's a nurse. She's an RN. She works in the ER, and she hasn't stopped working. Hopefully, they're taking all the precautions they can, but she's, putting her life on the line, every single day. I just talked to her, and she worked a, 12-hour shift, 2 12-hour shifts, which I just think in itself, nurses, they do not have easy jobs. And I have a brother who I talk about quite a bit, who is a doctor, who's a surgeon. And, surgeries are put on hold right now. Of course, he's trying to keep himself healthy and, not exposed as well. But then that kind of opens up, although you would consider it elective, but, there's probably people who, needed a hip repaired or, bad knees, and you've kind of been waiting a long time to, that's quality of life surgery, but maybe elective surgery in some people's eyes, and that's all put on hold right now, and for the right reasons, but it's just still is hard when you think about, the doctors and nurses and the people who, everybody's life has kind of been upturned, so.
In such a short amount of time. That's still the shocking thing to me.
And of course, I feel like, we keep hearing about, we're following closely the numbers in North Dakota, Minnesota. I remember when we first started hearing about this, Tom Hanks was the, celebrity that kind of put a face to the, hey, this is real. He's now, I think, still self-isolating at home, but doing better. Just today, the latest big name, not that it matters whether you're royalty or not, this affects us all the same. Prince Charles has now tested positive for coronavirus, so I think that's going to probably change some things in the UK. That was just confirmed by the palace this morning. He's now self-isolating, working from home. In case you're wondering, the Duchess of Cornwall has tested negative for the virus, but a statement from the palace said the prince has carried out a high number of public engagements during the past few weeks, and so they're not sure exactly when or where he caught the virus. And, of course, we talk a lot about Queen Elizabeth, his mother. She's 93, so hopefully she has not been infected. But I looked it up today, and Charles is 71. So,
wow.
He is next in line to the throne. But, of course, that kind of changes everything once again as well. So even affecting royalty. So just a reminder as it kind of, you know, hits different places all over the world.
It's going to be fascinating to watch his recovery because he's going to have access to the best healthcare on the planet. And so what is he going to do to help mitigate what might happen, you know, for him? So.
Right. And still talking about coronavirus, but on a lighter note, remember we talked the other day about Fargo doing the curbside to-go liquor deliveries. Apparently, Grand Forks is also now moving forward with to-go liquor along with your takeout food orders during this pandemic. I'd just like to point out, because someone put this on Facebook, you know, talking about, oh, great, you're encouraging open container. No. You know, people drive in to the liquor store, get it themselves, put it. You still can't drink and drive, so just be aware of that. Nobody is saying drink and drive. You still need to be 21. I think it's just protecting people from roaming up and down the aisles, opening up the coolers. You know, if you're going to have a drink or a bottle of wine, I think this is the right way to do it.
Well, they're trying to abide by the White House saying, hey, you know, no more gatherings of 10 or more people. And so if you walked into a liquor store right now in North Dakota, there's probably going to be 10 or more people there. So I think what they're trying to do is help mitigate that as well and say, look, we'll put it in a bag, come out to your car, get it to you, and then you are off and running. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I do. This is another bit of good news. I've been hearing from a lot more people who are home with their kids right now. We're growing our viewership. Amazon is helping out the moms and dads who maybe need a little bit of a break. They're now free streaming more than 40 kids shows. I love this. You know, we talked about this, you know, like Scholastic and, you know, Epic Reading. They're all kind of offering some free services that they haven't in the past. Anyway, 40 kids shows that were once, you know, pay for shows like Pete the Cat, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. Some of my favorite books that apparently are also TV shows. They're usually behind the Prime Video paywall. They're free now to all Amazon customers. So, you know, parents are trying to balance. It's a hard balance when you're home with your kids. You want them to learn. We haven't implemented the, you know, remote learning yet, but some TV shows. I know I've been following one local mom, and she's like, "We made it till 4 till the gaming system came out, and like 4 o'clock, that you win." She is doing an awesome job. And this is another great one for the kids, and I think kids or adults I would like to tune into. Actually, Hutch is kind of a big kid, isn't he? He's our favorite big kid. Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, every day this week at 2 in the afternoon is doing some online weather classes. Screen time that is approved.
Good.
Yeah. Hutch is discussing a whole lot of different weather-related topics each day. I love this. It's kind of like bringing Weather Kid into your own house. Today, I would like to tune in for this one because wind. We are always talking about wind here, aren't we? Today he's talking about wind, why it blows, you know, and all those good things. So we're just halfway through the week. He has heated up how it warms up for tomorrow, and lightning charging up. The discussion is Friday's lesson plan as well. So especially for me, like I can maybe do the reading with my kids at home, but if we're talking about, okay, time for your science lesson, I'm going to leave that up to Hutch.
Well, the one thing you might not know, I mean, Hutch has got like a multi-camera production going on because I see him in the afternoon. So he's got a couple cameras going. He was pulled a basketball in the other day as he was trying to explain the seasons. I mean, he's having a ton of fun with it. And of course, I mean, Hutch just does a great job. So.
Yeah, and he's always been kid-friendly. My girls just love Hutch.
Hutch,
you know.
If you're watching, you should bring in your guitar and you could sing some of the lessons.
Okay, but here's the thing, Hutch, the kind of music
metal.
he plays, I was going to say, probably not what most kids listen to, but, you know, there's a market for everyone.
The headbanging weatherman.
That he is. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, it still would be entertaining. He might, maybe that's for next week. Music lessons.
You know what Hutch should do for these? He should get like one of those faux mullets that you keep talking about, the mullet, you know, and he can put on the rocker mullet and some shades and be like, okay, guys, here we go.
Talking about the mullet. Kelly Clarkson's running a promo, and she's talking to the king of all mullets.
Oh, really?
The achy breaky heart guy. Why am I forgetting his name? Miley Cyrus's dad?
Yeah.
Billy Ray Cyrus. Billy Ray Cyrus. And so, yeah, you know, we might embrace the mullet.
Either that, Hutch, or you should do like a Bob Ross hairdo, which would be fantastic. And Hutch could be like, hey, welcome to today's weather show.
I think you're onto something, though, Chris. We could keep these online lessons. You need to be his agent.
His agent. There you go.
Keep it going. I love it. All right, we have a great show planned for you, even though we're doing all Skype interviews. Coming up next, we're going to still talk about the kids, and especially all the questions that our kids have for us during these uneasy times. We're going to be talking to the experts next. Stay with us.